Shane, you managed to beat Rathnure here by 3 points in the Pettit Senior Hurling Championship last round to qualify for the quarterfinals. You must be very pleased with your team's performance and the fact that you're qualified for the knockout stages now.
Yeah, sure. Look, it's great to be in the last 8. To be honest with you, that's where everybody is striving to keep staying in it, and keep climbing the ladder. So we're in the 8 now. We've a tough assignment next in the Martins, but in relation to today's game, as everybody said in our group, it was always going to come down to the wire, and it was no different today. And we're very, very glad we lost out last week, but this week we're delighted to get over the line by 3 points. And as I say, we had to battle every inch of it to get there.
And in terms of today's game, then you started very brightly. Rathnure came back into it, I think, with a goal, and it was only two or 3 points. It was 2 points at half time, I think it was. But how did you feel at half time, having gone in only that far ahead, having dominated the first half?
Yeah, you would have been. You could have looked at that, and it's a good point because we had done a lot of hurling to be only that margin up, and then to be fair, Rathnure started the second half and drew it level. But I felt, to be honest with you, if we can keep in the game, and if you look at us over the last 2 years, every game ends up being close with us, and we seem to be either getting a draw or we might lose by a point. So I didn't panic in from that point of view, and there was a lot of our lads in positions on top. So I felt if we could keep getting the ball to the inside line, and Rome was having a really particularly strong day, that we would get more scores, and sure, that's how it did materialise, in the end.
And then obviously you were unfortunate, we could say, to lose to St. Anne's in the first round, and but you managed to atone for that, and you face St. Martin's now in the next round. That won't be an easy challenge, but one that there was only 3 points in it last year when you played, and more than capable, I'm sure, of putting it up to them again.
Yeah, look, sure, the Martins, obviously they're champions, and they're champions for a reason because they're obviously the best team out there. So, if you were let put your hand into the pot and pull the team out for the quarter final, you wouldn't pull out the Martins. So, but that's what it is, and we gave them as good a run as we could last year, and we're going to aim to do the same thing. And luckily, at the moment, we don't seem to be after pulling up any injuries out of today. It'll be interesting to see how the third week in a row is going to work out. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how we'll recover, and hopefully it'll be a help. But you know yourself, they used to say about county teams that 3 weeks in a row that they'll be under pressure. But so next week that's going to be interesting to see how we go in relation to that. But looking forward to it, and really, really glad to be in it.
And often when we're analysing games, we talk about the lad that scored 5 points, which was Rowan White today, or the lad that scored 2 or whatever. But in the last 2 games, you've also had some very good performances by your backs. I thought Davy Clark did very well against Lee Mogue McGovern last week, and again Ger Dempsey on Rory Higgins today.
Yeah, Davy's around a little longer than Ger, and Davy always seems to get the real marquee forward for us. And to be fair, but as I said to Davy last night, don't underestimate Shane. Like, Shane Lawler's a fabulous hurler, and Shane got 3 brilliant points. And when they really needed him, he stood up today. And Davy had a great game again. So I said, just because Lee Mogue is on the county team, but Lawler's a serious operator, and he hurls well, and he came away with 3 points. But Ger is probably. People are going to see a lot more of Ger. Ger is what you actually really call a defender. Ger has the art of defending, and he's getting better every year. Ger, I don't know what he is, 22, 23, but I watched Rory here in the last game against Jans, and he was outstanding, and I had Rory under 21, but Ger had a great game today. Rory probably got 2 or 3 points as well, but Ger is really improving every year.
And finally then, we had 6 lads on a panel during the week, and I think all of us picked Rathnure, so you definitely managed to prove us all wrong today anyway.
Yeah, and in fairness, and I hope you keep that 6 up again and it keeps going according to plan. But look at it, to be fair, I think some of you mentioned if it was a tight game that you felt Glyn might win it, and probably that's what did happen. And to be fair, you're saying, the Rathnure have flamboyant forwards and they can all score, and to prove that today. But probably at times, I think, to be fair to the lads, our lads are always mentioning about a little bit of a hustle and bustle team, but there's a few more hurlers out there than people give them credit for, and I hope they're able to produce the same next week.
Well, from your point of view, best of luck in the next round next week against St. Martin's, and congratulations on your victory today over Rathnure.
Thanks a million, lads. Thanks very much.